Right, so we've got this one to sandblast today. Take some of that off. It looks a lot worse than it is. It's only yeah, that stuff. Under there, sides. The base plate's not getting done. We're just doing the sides today. Look at this. It's got a spoiler on back. Bit of downforce. So we're taking that, I'm not sure if that's blacking or tool pack. I think it might have had a coat of tool pack on it underneath, and then it's been blacked over top. And obviously it needs its service now. So it's just starting to pull through in areas. You know what? Yeah, it doesn't need jack washing before, it's not a problem. It's a waste of time, to be fair, because basically that's what I'm doing. I'm doing like an high pressure, well, I say high pressure wash. A pressure washer works, a DIY pressure washer works at 2,500 psi. 2,500 to 3,500 psi. I'm running about 100, so I'm hardly hitting it with much pressure. I did not a sister boat, but the same company that's built this boat, I did one on, so last week's boat, or it might be a video just before this one, it was tool pack, but they'd not primed it, so I'm presuming this is going to be the same. I think it's just had a top coat of tool pack on it. Oh yeah, that's tool pack, I think. Yeah, that's tool pack. But it don't look like it's got any primer on it, so it should just fly off. And the boat that I did before were quite heavy in mill scale, so there probably will be some greying underneath. But like I said before, mill scale's not a problem as long as we etch it up. Oh, I'd like to get that bit for first shot. Yeah, it's got tool pack on it. And there we have it. Done. That Grey's mill scale. I've said it plenty of times, everybody knows what it is. It's steel, it's not a miss. My job is to remove the paint and key the surface up. So, I don't know if you can hear it, but that's keyed up. Lovely. In some areas there's a little bit more heavier in mill scale, and then the int underneath. Oh yeah, all under here. This camera always makes it look patchy. Looks a lot darker on camera. But I know what I'm looking for when I'm doing it, so that's alright. Ready for paint now. Yeah, he asked me on this one, he says, can I just do a bit of this? Well, he asked me if I could do the D-bar. But I can't really do D-bar. I can only get to there and because usually if you hit here, it kind of stays here. And they paint it anyway, but he asked me on this one, see what we could do. So I've done air on it, because they sand it anyway. They're going to sand that back. But if I go any further, when I come over the top of here, it's going to hit this, and it will damage that. But if I stop where I am, I know that I'm not going to hit that. I know that I'm not going to cause any damage up there, as long as I've got that little safety net. I could probably push it a little bit more. I could probably get to about here before it does any damage up here. But if I did slip, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Got water pissing out of these. But like I say, I think it'll be tomorrow when they get on this. They'll touch that in with sander when they're sanding that off. Oh look, can them panels there? Oops, what camera am I looking at? These at mill, well, heavy in mill scale, and these, oh, it might be because that's been rolled, being shaped. Yeah, it is. It's been fruit roller. You can see how it comes down and it shapes in, starts bending. It's probably why mill scale's not as heavy on that, because steel's been worked a little bit more. Oh, it's done it on this side as well, is it? Yeah. Apart from that top bit there. You can see where I've scuffed it with my hands, getting dust off it. But that's what they'll do now. They'll come in with leaf blower, I think he does it with. Leaf blows alt roof off, and then goes round with a tack rag, cleans it all off with tack rag. And then, you know, they do all cleaning up. I'll leave them to deal with it. So if you like that video, do me a favour, stick a thumbs up on it for us, and we'll catch you on next time.